Good evening, X-Drive world. This is really exciting for me to host this call tonight. And first thing I want to do is to announce a new rank. So we have a couple from Mexico, Miguel Angel and his wife. I believe they are new, never been in network marketing, few weeks, and they reached gold. And this is exciting for them and for us as well, because it's a story. Everyone can make it, and it's cool. Um, I also want to announce a couple of events that we're gonna have. There's one that is coming tomorrow in Orlando, which Billy will give the directions soon. This event is with Luca and Lily, I think, and Billy, and it's going to be awesome. And there's one in Mexico City, which is coming February 26th to 28th, 3 days event. And if you have people in Mexico City, you want to bring them there because Randy Gage is going to be there, Alvaro is going to be there, and some of the Latin leaders. It's going to be awesome, and you want your people to be there. And then there's a set of events, March 1st in Des Moines, and then March 2nd Durango, and March 3rd in Denver. Now those events are for prospects. Of course, team members needs to be there, and it will be more effective if the people that you send there will see the business before, but send them anyway. So I recommend to to send them the videos, show them, and then send them to the event, but do it anyway. Those events are places where people get and see the social proof above everything else, and they are very powerful. Okay, so we have a pretty packed plan for tonight. We'll start with the amazing Billy Looper that will educate us about what's so special about the fusion products, and how do they fit in today's lifestyle. Billy, to you.
Thank you, Shah. How's the audio?
Perfect.
Excellent. Well, let's go back to the Orlando meeting we're having tomorrow night for just a second. For anyone on the call who can get out the message tonight and tomorrow, for anyone they have living in Florida, any team members or any prospects, please get them to Orlando. It is worth the drive. It's going to be amazing with Lily and Luca, all the way from Lima, Peru, who are the top income earners in the company. They're going to show us how to do this. We're going to have a presentation that is open to everyone, no matter what team you're on. So please come and invite all your friends. It's near the Orlando airport. There's a flyer out right now that will tell you exactly the location. It starts at 7:30. The presentation will go to 8:30, then we'll have a little break, and then there'll be some fast start training after that, and really dive deep into how Luca and Lily built this from the ground up, and how you can too. So get all your prospects in Florida to this meeting. Let me know if you could at billylooper.com if you have guests coming, and I'll make sure to look out for them and take care of them for you. But as far as the products, for the last couple of weeks, I've been talking to you about how excited I am about the high quality, about the state-of-the-art technology, the unique process we use to actually keep the ingredients whole, and where you don't have to use heat, that you have unique formulas, unique ingredients. There's no preservatives, there's no sugar, there's no GMO, it's all natural, and there's, what's really cool is that it's at a reasonable cost. We've been talking about all these features the last couple weeks, and that's used to describe the products. But what's really cool about this are the benefits, and some of the benefits are fast results, fast right now products, and people can really tell that they're happening, they're getting some positive effect, and it's the benefits that really are described by the story. And tonight I want to present with someone who just went senior executive today, and she's also got a great benefit story of what these products can do for you. Debbie, I'd like for you to meet Debbie Grissay from Port St. Lucie, Florida, and she's here to tell us her story. Debbie, are you on the call?
I sure am.
Go ahead.
Well, first, I'd like to thank you and Randy for letting me share my story. This really is a privilege for me. I've been into nutrition for about 25 years now, and I know quite a bit about the nutrients and how they interact in the body. I've always been a slender person my whole life until I turned 50 and menopause set in. And doctors told me that the weight gain was normal for women my age, so I just accepted it. But over the last 2 years, I've gained a lot of weight due to minor health issues. And to tell you the truth, I didn't care enough to do anything about it. So in January, there was the pre-launch of the Fusion USA, and after learning more about the products and how they were made and the ingredients, I became so excited about the products, I finally wanted to do something about my weight loss. Now, I have to tell you, I was already using the Fusion products, and after that weekend, I added the Termote and the no carb every day. And I actually really wanted to test out to see if it would really work, and I have to tell you, I've been astounded with the results. As of today, I've lost 18 pounds and counting, and I feel really excited and confident when I get dressed. So now I can look in the mirror or even meet and greet people, and I feel happy. I don't feel like shying away from anybody. I'm happier, I'm more energetic, and more alive on these products than I've ever had before on any other products I've ever done. I actually love the way they taste, and the results they're producing is amazing. The one thing I've noticed is that I was eating less at each meal and feeling full much faster on the Termote and the no carb. And I'm not craving sweets as I did before, so I'm not snacking as much, but I have to tell you, I still eat my cookies every single night. I haven't given those up. And I have not exercised before or now, which is not a good thing, and I still lost 14 pounds in a 4-week period. I'm actually doing nothing different than I was doing prior to this except making better health choices. Now, I've taken a lot of products before Fusion, and a lot of them were really great, but these absolutely surpass every product I've ever used. As a matter of fact, my daughter Jillian has been using the weight loss products and other Fusion products, and she has gone down over 1 size in the past month. My husband Dave has also lost 13 pounds, and he looks absolutely amazing. So how do I do this? I use 4 products every morning before I eat. I actually mix them together. I use the Vita Energy, which is my daily dose of vitamins and antioxidants with a little twist of energy. I use the Termote, the no carb, and the Flex. And I take them actually before I eat. The weight loss is actually due to taking the Termote and the no carb. I also use the Beauty In at night for anti-aging and tightening of the skin. When needed, I use the off to de-stress and have a good night's sleep. Dave actually takes the Probel every day to balance his hormones. I'm also on the Flex for joint pain, as I have very acute osteoarthritis in my hands, knees, and general joint areas. The swelling and the discomfort has greatly been reduced since I've been taking the Flex. My hands feel much better, and I can actually wear my rings again. So what I'd really like to say to you is that if you are just checking this out, don't wait. The products are absolutely unsurpassed, and the business and the people supporting us are the best in the industry. Thanks a lot for letting me share my story.
Thanks, Debbie. That's a great story. I know we have these great features that we talked about every single week, but it's the benefits and the stories that really get people excited about this, and you're using it to show how effective they are, because I saw you at that pre-launch in Orlando, and then I saw you 4 weeks later at a home meeting, and I was just shocked. So congratulations on your success, and for guys on the call tonight, this is what we're talking about. This is changing people's lives in a very fast, right now type of product. So back to you, Shai.
Thank you, Billy. And, you know, to hear a testimonial such a beautiful testimonial for someone who uses the product and has result in multiple areas. That's what we need, and what we need, everyone need to do now, is not only share it in the team, but also share it with potential customers, because eventually what we need, all of us, is to create consumptions in the marketplace, have customers. And just think about it. If you have customers that buy 100 points a week, and you teach that in your team, and then 200, and then 300, how would your volume change? How would your ranks goes forward? I mean, just by that. So we need to create these consumptions, and this is a great testimonial. I want to switch to Paul. It's so great that we are here like a team and like a brainstorming group. And within that team, we get to actually try and check things. And Paul actually was testing a new concept or a small tweak, in the way he works that actually produce amazing results. And talking about ranks, I heard a bird that told me that we're soon gonna have an amazing rank break this week. So I want to switch to you, Paul, and let you share with us how you get people to qualify as EF, as active team members.
Thanks, Shai. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're excited to be a part of this team. One of the things I love about this team is just that there's openness to this kind of thing. And Randy said that from the beginning. If we can find ways that are going to work faster, better for the people we're bringing in, that we're open to incorporating those in the system. So one of the things we noticed when we were starting people is that the people really weren't engaging in a powerful way right away, right when they got started. So we've just been doing what I'm going to describe here to you guys for a little over a week, and we've already seen some really dynamic changes in the way that people are getting started. And it's not necessarily going to be for everybody and every team. I'm just going to describe to you what we've been doing, and you guys take that, work with your sponsorship lines, and we're testing this and putting it out there. And I just love the openness of being able to do that. So here's the concept. When we enroll someone new for the first time, one of the things we want for them right away is success. We want them, first of all, to get EF activated. So we know what that is. That means they go to their sponsor's website, or they call the 800 number, they place an order, and now their position is activated. So that means they're qualified for commissions, but of course they're not going to earn any commissions until they start to enroll people. So what we're doing is talking then to people about, as soon as you're activated, the very next thing we want you guys to do is become EF qualified. And if you look on the evolution plan, what you'll see about EF qualified is that means you have one active person on your left and one active person on your right. So now you might say, well, how does a person do that? How do you right away, if you don't know anything about the business, how would you become EF qualified without a lot of training about how to do that? Well, it's pretty simple. We really talk to people about, everybody's got in their life maybe a list of 5 people or 10 people or 12 people where literally if they called them up and said, or if I called the guy up and said, Joe, give me your credit card, we're doing this thing together, Joe's going to get his credit card out just because it's me that's calling him. Because there's this implicit trust between Joe and I. We've got that level of relationship. So this is what we're talking to people about when they first come in, and this could be right after they're done enrolling, is let's put together a list, and you know what, while I'm here, why don't we call Joe right now? What are we waiting for? And then we're going to teach them how to get on the phone with Joe and make a simple invitation that might go something like this. Hey Joe, it's Paul. Listen, I wanted to touch base with you. I've got an opportunity that's just crossed my path. It's the biggest thing that I've ever come across in my career. We're helping to launch the Peruvian Company of the Year in the United States in 2016. So what I want to do is I want to get about 20 minutes of your time. I'm going to connect you with some of the professionals in this. Joe, you just got to see this. What's happening with my business now is, basically we're at the very beginning of this, and the most important positions on my team, I've got 2 slots, one on my left side, one on my right side. And Joe, I want you in one of those slots if it would be a fit for you. And if it's not, that's okay. I understand, no problem. But I would like you to maybe even think about, if it's not a fit for you for whatever reason, think about maybe somebody that maybe we know in common, or someone who's looking to make a serious move financially, because this is going to grow very fast, very, very strong opportunity. So I want to connect you with someone here, been in the industry, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to set an appointment for Joe just based on that invitation. I don't need to know any details about Fusion to do that. I've got that implicit trust relationship with Joe. He's very likely to get on a call or even listen to a recording or a video based on that without any other detailed training information. So that's what we're doing. And what we're finding is Joe is listening to the information and joining. And so we go through that process. Maybe it takes us 2 or 3 or 4 of these connections, and we can literally do it at the enrollment table right when the person is joining. Why not? And we're finding that people are coming in. And then, of course, so Joe comes in. What do we tell Joe? The same thing. Okay, Joe, first thing we're going to do is get you EF qualified. That means, EF active. That means we're going to get an order for you, so your position is commission ready. Now we're going to get you EF qualified. How do we do that? We walk through the same process with Joe. So what this does is it kind of compresses the sales cycle. It moves things along quickly, and as I said, we're only about a little over a week into this. We've seen a lot of activity with people. I got this kind of when I interviewed Herman a few weeks ago. Some of you guys might remember that interview where he basically was having people in his home meeting that were coming to the home meeting and then telling those people, I'm having another one tomorrow, bring people tomorrow, just creating a sense of urgency in his business. That's how he got to gold in 8 days. And I'll bet you if we interviewed the folks that just got to gold in Mexico in 8 days, it was something similar, because the new people, they don't know at what rate they're supposed to go at. We get to determine that culture of speed. So that's what we're up to, you guys. We'll keep giving you feedback as we go forward, and you'll track, and we'll show you the results and continue to communicate it. But again, just thanks for the openness and being willing to hear out what we're doing, and we're having a lot of fun with it so far. So Shai, back to you.
Cool. And actually what I want to share with all of you, that the whole process for all of us, we are professional. We know how to do it. But everyone, even the professional, it's a testing, because what you knew yesterday may change today. So we always try, and everyone, if you started today or you have 20 years of experience, you want to test new approaches, small tweaks that can improve, and those small things can do huge changes. It takes 1 degree of change, but if you are consistent with that change over time, that 1 degree can be a lot, over the mileage. So I want to switch to Randy Gage to talk about recruiting. Recruiting is the beginning of everything, and we need more and more people in our business always, and for that we switch to you, Randy.
All right, great. I'm unmuted, I trust?
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about passion, urgency, and intensity, because that's what you're hearing when Paul talks about this program that they've been testing out there in Denver and Durango. That's what you're talking about when he mentions Herman, who emailed me last night, had 38 people at his second meeting this week. 38 people from his team at that meeting, and I don't remember if that was Cali or Bogota, but that was his second meeting this week, and so just from his team, 38 people. Passion, intensity, urgency, and here's why. The world needs a movement. If you guys were with me in Hawaii. Some of you, like Morgan, were there, and people who were in Hawaii know I told the group there, hey, the world needs a movement. We are in some of the most difficult, troubled times. There are so many people in debt, so many people upside down on their car fund, their car payments, so many people overweight, so many people with low energy, so many people with poor health. And we can help them with these fusion products and the fusion opportunity. And one of the things to keep in mind is that this is a sorting process. And particularly so here in the United States and in the other markets that are in pre-launch operations right now, it's absolutely a sorting process, meaning it's not a sales process, it's not a convince process, it's a process of sorting through, seeing who are the correct people who are right for this opportunity. We know that fusion is right for everybody. Everybody's not going to be right for fusion. At this stage of the game, it's not going to be uncommon for you to get more customers than you are team members if you're in a pre-launch country like the United States, Dominican Republic, or some of those other ones. And don't be upset with that. Celebrate that. The fact is, we're in a situation where we don't have the mobile app done. We don't have the replicated website up yet. The actual, what we would call the intrigue video that we want to use as a step one. Those things are all in development right now. So people who get in now have an extraordinary opportunity because they get to lock in a legacy position. That's the other thing when Paul says, hey, there's two really important positions. The first spot on my left, the first spot on my right. That's because those positions, they allow someone to create a legacy income. Those are a position. In other words, they can build a business there that's going to create residual income they could will to their children or their grandchildren. And with this kind of situation, $100 million company, a company of the year, a pioneer in nutraceutical fusion, to have all of those resources and just be opening the United States, not be open yet in Europe, not be open yet in Asia, it's quite an opportunity. And the other thing is, if you sat down and you were going to start from scratch and you said, okay, we want to create the perfect MLM company. What would that look like? What kind of comp plan? What kind of product line? This is exactly the product line you would want, for the reasons you heard from Debbie, from the reasons you heard from Billy, because these are real products for real people at real prices. And they produce real, tangible results. And not only are they great products, they're great prices, they do all that. The interesting thing is just because of the packaging. They're very light, they're very economical, they're good for the environment. The idea of, because I was a little intrigued when I first looked at this, like, wow, sachets, and then you got to open them up, and if they're hot, you mix them, like here for my, this is my Vera Masti, or you put, and I also put some off in there because I always have an off every night before I go to bed. Or you mix them with water for a sports drink or an energy drink or whatever, a juice or a smoothie. And I thought, well, are people going to want to do that? Is that, and it's really brilliant in terms of how much it protects the environment, how much it lowers the shipping cost. I got to tell you, for the last 10 years, I've worked in a business where the single biggest issue we faced over and over again was the shipping and going into other countries and shipping across borders and paying the weight. And nowhere was this more clear to me than when I was in Hawaii last 2 weeks ago, and I was meeting with Kavika, who is a new guy underneath Ann and David Feinstein. And him and another guy there in Hawaii are kind of starting things up there, so I'm looking for some exciting things to happen there. And we were sitting down chatting with Michael Smith, and we were talking about this new split volume feature. And this Kavika had been with a program that sold the juices, those big, heavy bottles of juices. which got shipped to Hawaii. And so, of course, everything that goes to Hawaii gets air freight because the UPS trucks, they kept sinking. So anything you're going to send to Hawaii, it's got to go on an airplane, right? Unless you want to wait 6 weeks to get it, right? So it's really expensive to get anything in Hawaii, and particularly juices, because they're so heavy. Liquids are the most heavy thing almost. So so we were chatting with him, and Michael said, well, here's the deal. You could once a month do an order for 120 points, split the order so it would qualify you 60 points in the first 2-week cycle, 60 points in the second 2-week cycle, and because it's more than $100, you'd have free shipping. You're qualified for all 4 weeks, you've got your products, and the shipping to Hawaii is free. That's, and anyone around can do that anywhere here, you know, because of this split ordering thing. And again, the products are so light, it's the perfect product line, because you look for products that have the results, people see them right away, and they do that. And the best thing, of course, we don't have to ask anybody to change their behavior. We just say, hey, you, and everybody you know is already drinking water, juices, coffees, teas, energy drinks, sports drinks. So we don't want to change that behavior. We just want you to drink healthier versions of it, which in most cases are even cost less. So think about that. Think about getting that message out there with passion, intensity, and urgency, and focus on something we talked about a couple of weeks ago. You need 3 to 5 people on the left side who get it, who aren't customers. They're the ones who want to build a business. Get as many customers as you can. If you have 15, 20, 30 customers on each side now, great. But for the business building, what you need to get is at least 3 to 5 people on the left, 3 to 5 people on the right, who get it. They understand pre-launch. Wow, what an opportunity that is. They know we're already shipping, we're already paying commissions. We have a lot of stuff in place, like these weekly webcasts, where we can update you on the latest thing, what's working, what's hot, whatever we're modifying, just as you heard Paul talking about tonight. And they can create that legacy position. So that's something really, you know, not to be taken for granted. Please take this and invest in it, the energy that it deserves, and attack it with passion, intensity, and urgency. Because the world needs a movement right now. People need to take their lives back. They want to take back their health, they want to take back their finances, and we can help them with both of those areas. So the world needs a movement, and the movement needs you. Shai, back to you.
This is so cool. Yeah, there is a movement there. Absolutely. And you know, one thing which I like about those light products is the fact that I can carry this one, at least in my pocket, you know. I mean, or, you know, in my bag or in my car, you know, I have always product with me because they are powdered, they are not spoiled, so, you know, there's no issue with that. And how cool is it to sample it to people? And you know what? When you sample product like that to people and you tell them it's a powder that you mix with water and you get a very cool beverage, hot or cold, which is 100% natural, everyone uses it because it's familiar and they don't afraid, you know, and also have brochures with you, you know, with a stamp or at least your number at the back, and use it. So it's the end of the week. We have one more day, and in one more day, everything can change. If you're not qualified, you can get qualified and just order your product tonight. And if you're not EF qualified, which means, or if you're not activate, you can order your product. And if you're not EF qualified, which means you don't have one person on your left and one person on your right which are active, You can do it tonight. You can do it tomorrow. Exactly as Paul said, it doesn't matter if you join tonight or if you join in November. You can still do the same thing and change the course of this week, change the course of your future. And the way to do it for you, of course, is to do those calls. But more than that, you go to the back office, you look at the percentage, and you see, you know, what do you need in order to qualify for a rank, and you do the same for everyone in your line. You'll be surprised how many people don't realize that they didn't order the product at the right week. And once the week is closed, there's no way to change it. You know, if you miss a check, you miss the check. So just do yourself and your team a favor and create that culture that you go over your team, at least your first generation, and you teach them the same, to go over every Tuesday or so and find out who needs to order, and then get them to qualify. You know, teach them that small trick and invite them to do it now, you know, tonight or tomorrow, and change the results. One other advice that I want to give, this is an amazing program by Jim Rohn. I think he's one of the most famous people in this profession. He's passed away. His program, Building Your Network Marketing Business, cost $1.99 on iTunes. And if you learn to speak this language, if you learn your team to speak this language, it will change everything for you. So do yourself a favor, go to iTunes and order that and create that culture in your team as well. Self-development is part of the process, and this is an amazing tool for you and your team. Let's close this week strong, and let's have an amazing month. So with that, I want to thank everyone, and get people that didn't watch the call live to watch the recording, and see you next week.
Shai, I'd like to make a quick announcement real quick about the Denver event, if that's okay.
Please.
The date that you announced is actually incorrect. We have Denver on March 2nd at the Hyatt Regency, and then Durango with Randy is March 3rd in Durango, Colorado. So just want to make that correction for people, that if you know people in the Denver market, that event's actually going to be on March 2nd, and then for Durango on March 3rd.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, guys. Have a good week. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.